So housing, Suriname is a very interesting country. I would say a lot like most third world countries. There's a very poor part of the country, and there's a very wealthy, affluent part of the country. I know I've seen families that have 8 to 10 to 12 people living in a house that's maybe the size of an average American bedroom. Well, where I've seen other families that live in this inner city that have a house 3 times as large as what they actually need to meet their needs. So I mean, there's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of hardship. There's a lot of heartache, and then there's a lot of situations that you come across that are difficult to see and difficult to take in. Kids on the street just wandering aimlessly. People not having enough food to eat. People not having enough money to provide for their families. Just tough. All the houses in Suriname have tin roofs, which is kind of cool when it rains because it's in the Amazon jungle, so it pours all the time. So it's kind of cool. That's a good, I guess, audio when it rains. Just everything's pounding on those tin roofs, which is kind of cool. As far as for the missionaries, living conditions is wonderful. You'd think being in a third world country they'd be pretty crappy, but you have air conditioning, running water, a washing machine. You can drink the water out of the tap, so you have no problems that way. The weather is, I don't know how to phrase it, pretty miserable on the hot spectrum. So it's roughly, I would say, 90 to 95 degrees during the summer, but 100% humidity. And in the winter, it drops down to maybe 85. During the rainy season, 85, 80, but it's still 100% humidity. So you're never not sweating. You're never not moist or damp or wet in some sense of the word. I mean, you get out of the shower, you dry yourself off, and you're instantly sweating. You're in bed with the airco on, and you walk outside, and you instantly start to sweat. But I mean, you get used to it and you acclimate, and I've heard it's good for your skin. As far as weather goes as well, it rains almost every single day, and it'll rain like you've never ever experienced here in America. Rain's so thick that you can literally see the wave of rain coming up the street. You can physically see it advancing towards you, which is kind of cool. And it just pours. The drops are huge, and it will rain for hours. And then just the streets become rivers, and there's huge puddles, and I don't know, on the side of the roads they have these gutter systems, and they just overflow with water. It's amazing. I remember one night my buddy and I, or my companion and I, were preparing to teach a lesson, and it's just started to pour. So we waited out a little bit in our apartment. When we came outside, there was 4 inches of water in our yard. And I mean, you just bike on through it. So that's kind of cool. A lot of the work that people do, or at least a lot of people that I associated with, I served 3/4 of my mission in the southern part of the country, so more kind of in the rural part of Suriname. A lot of it was just physical labor. I'd be building houses, farming, building boats, working in fields, harvesting fruit. A lot of it was just hard physical labor. And they use a machete for everything. But in the city, you have there's a lot of school teachers, a lot of businessmen. A lot of people own little shops, clothing shops, food shops, things like that. But I feel like the majority of people that I personally knew just worked really, really hard every single day to provide for their families. A lot of it was just hard construction work. In Suriname, the crime isn't too bad. I can't think of a time on a mission where I felt unsafe, where I felt like I was in danger, or that I was going to be harmed by anybody. There definitely are some places to avoid at night. But I mean, I can't say that I ever felt in danger or in harm, or that I was going to be, hurt in any way. I feel like for the most part, it's a pretty safe country that you're free to go where you want to go. So it's funny, Surinamese people, they love to be, I guess, up to date with pop culture. They love to be like the Americans, but at the same time, they're always 3 or 4 steps behind. So when I was there, I'm assuming the iPhone 4, the iPhone 5 came out, and then that was the big thing in America, but Suriname was still stuck in the BlackBerry phase, which is kind of interesting to see. But shopping, yeah, I would say is pretty similar there as it is here. You can buy almost anything that you want that you can get in America there. They have a lot of Armani stores, basically any store that you could want, they have it there. And everybody's all about fashion and style and the newest trends, but at the same time it's kind of funny, everybody dresses the exact same. It's all about snapbacks, skinny jeans, and designer t-shirts, and they all think they're being original and put their new spin on it, but everybody dresses the exact same, which is kind of funny. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty similar to America in the sense of shopping and things like that. It's very Caribbean in the sense that nothing's on time. You know, if you say be there 8 o'clock, you really mean 8:30 or 9. So if you want people to be there at 8 o'clock, you better tell them 7 or 6:30. Everybody kind of moves at their own pace. There's no rush to do anything. There's no hurry. There's no pressure. There's no time schedule. It kind of just happens when it happens. You know, you'll see people building a house for a year and a half. There were some buildings that I never saw completed in the 2 years that I served in the country. So people are just really very Caribbean, very relaxed, very take it easy, very kind of slow and easy, which is, I guess, relaxing in a sense, but also very frustrating when you have to keep appointments and you're on a schedule being a missionary and you have to be specific places at specific times. But they're just really kind people. They always want to welcome you. They'll always give you a Coke or something to drink or a glass of cold water on the hot day, which is really cool for the most part. Yeah, that's about it. And they're hard workers on their own time.